Alright guys, so I finally got the BBC working. It's taken me about a week. I'm really waiting on parts. So I asked on a few Facebook groups and asked a few of my friends on Facebook who are more technically savvy than I am. So quite a few people, know an awful lot about the BBC. So I got a list of chips that could be at fault. When I first turned this on, I was getting like the screen was split into four, almost like four player split screen. You can see it in this video clip here. And if I changed the computer into its different graphic modes, I was getting random graphical errors. You couldn't really make out anything on the screen, just flashing colours. So the first thing I replaced that was suggested to me was this chip here, this little small chip. It's IC14, and if I remember correctly, it's a buffer that sits between the CPU and the video chip, something like that. So apparently they're quite prone to dying and can cause all types of random errors when they go. So that was the first one I replaced. It cost me about £2 for a replacement on eBay. So I got the replacement, stuck it in, and it made absolutely no difference. So the next one I tried was this big chip at the back here. It is CRTC chip, so it controls the sync and stuff to the screen. So it was a prime suspect. Again, I got a replacement on eBay. I think it cost about £7 for that one. Plugged it in, made absolutely no difference. So next was the main video processor itself. It's a VC2023. Got a replacement for it on eBay. It cost me a tenner, and that sorted the problem. Once I got the new chip in there, it was apparently working perfectly. I could get into all the different modes without any graphic glitching. So I thought, yep, happy days, that's it sorted. Put it back together and tried to plug my MMC card into it, and it wouldn't work. I had my MMC connected to the BBC Master, so it was confirmed working. So reading online and in the instructions actually that came with the MMC, there's a big troubleshooting section. So this chip here, this big chip here, is the VIA chip, which controls the input and output from the user port underneath, which is what plug the MMC plugs into. So that was looking like it was dodgy as well. Luckily though, there's a second chip exactly the same on the board, just behind the keyboard connector here. So I swapped those two. Apparently this is used while the computer's booting up. So swapping the two over, if that chip was faulty, then it would cause a problem with the booting, which it did. When it booted, I was just getting a steady single tone from the speaker, and there was no response from the keyboard. Although the screen, I was getting the basic prompt on the screen. So that told me that the VIA chip in the user port was faulty. So again, went to eBay, ordered a replacement, cost me a fiver, and stuck it in, and it's working perfectly. So yeah, that chip was dodgy. It was partially working, but yeah, changed that out. I can now read my MMC card fine. So at this stage I thought, great, that's it sorted, everything's working. and went to plug in my joystick to test a game, and the joysticks weren't working. But it turned out there was actually there's two screws on either side of the joystick port here. There's a screw on each side, and that holds it still as you're plugging the joystick in. Now, those two screws were missing. So when I was trying to plug a joystick in, the whole thing was just wobbling about. So I pulled the motherboard out and resoldered all the connections underneath, and then put two screws in, and it's working perfectly. So that was the last bit I just finished there. And yeah, it's finally done. There doesn't seem to be any other problems with it. I can get my games to run. I'm happy. So another thing I wanted to show here was I got a joystick adapter for it. There's blue tape on it here because I popped it open to have a look inside. So there's tape holding the case closed. But this converts the BBC's joystick port to a standard Atari style joystick. The switch on it there, I didn't know what it did originally, but it seems to swap the left and right directions, which is quite bizarre. But if you put it across to there, right goes left and left goes right. You put it to there and it's as it should be. So God knows why someone added that. Maybe some games play better with the reversed direction scheme. So I'm actually using a Mega Drive controller on this here. This Mega Drive controller, I have modified it. I removed the chip from inside, so it's wired up basically to be an Atari joystick. There's only the center button, the B button, is your fire button. None of the other buttons work. So there you go, that's what I use for the old computers. So yeah, it seems to be working fine, touch wood. And it's reading the MMC card just fine. So there we go, all my games, all working, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I really wanted a Model B because that is where my nostalgia is. I've owned the Master for probably a year now, and although I love it, it's not compatible with all the games. So it doesn't have some of the modes that the Model B runs in. So I will now be using this as my main machine and keep the Master as a nice backup because it's in really nice condition. That, though saying that, this Model B is in reasonably good condition. There's the top part of the case. There's a few scratches around it, but really it's not anything to be snuffed at. You know, I got it for free, so I can't complain. I've got a fully working BBC for, I don't know, maximum about 20 quid I spent. So that's including the capacitor kit. So yeah, don't need instructions. It doesn't seem to, there's quite a lot of games don't work with the joysticks. And if you're wondering why I'm not using the Cub monitor, it's just more convenient at the minute to use that TV. Rather than hooking around the back of that, I just have everything plugged in and ready to go into that TV. So the Cub monitor will be getting set up shortly once I clear the mess on this table before my wife castrates me. Alright guys, so if you have any questions, please ask. I may have missed something, but yeah, it's been an adventure and absolutely no soldering involved, which in my book is brilliant. I hate the soldering chips on old stuff. It's so easy to damage the traces, and you know the holes that go through. So it was just a matter of using a fine screwdriver and popping chips out, putting them back in. Nice and simple, and that's it, fully working. So you'll probably see some BBC computer videos coming up soon. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.